If you've got sensitive skin and want full coverage yet lightweight makeup to enhance and define your features, this is a beginner makeup routine you've been looking for. I'll be covering sensitive skin prep, makeup to even out hyperpigmentation, and more. I'm literally not kidding when I say 9 times out of 10, products that are labeled safe for sensitive skin don't usually work for me, but I finally found makeup that is safe for sensitive skin with a decent color range for brown skin. All the products I'm sharing with you have been tried and tested for years. The most recent ones for a couple of months without any skin irritation. I like to ice my face before I put anything else on. This is the ice that I'm using. It's just chamomile, and I think I put some fresh thyme in it. I'm basically like a crazy herb lady. Like, you know how people say, oh, I'm a crazy plant lady or a crazy cat lady? I am basically the equivalent of that with herbs. Now that my skin is nice and damp from the ice, next I'm going to go in with this niacinamide powder. I'm going to dilute this with aloe vera juice. When I use niacinamide, my makeup does not come out shiny at the end of the day. It pretty much stays matte. It helps to control the oil production. I like to let this dry a little bit before I put on my next one. So I'm going to use what's left over in this package and put it on my face. This serum is so good. I honestly wish they had a serum in bottle form that's just for your face, but I'm good with just using this for now. I'm going to go in with this moisturizer. This is the Good Stuff Botanicals. Everything I'm sharing with you, by the way, is probably a small business because my skin is so unique with its sensitivity that I have to be really mindful of the ingredients. This cream really helps if you experience eczema or you get rashes really easily. Obviously, like any other person, breakouts. This has helped to soothe my skin a lot, and it doesn't break me out. It doesn't leave me greasy. I'm gonna take that much. I like to put this in the back of my hand first, dot it throughout my skin. I'm gonna finish off my skincare with this SPF 50 Badger Sport Sunscreen. This one's the only one that does not give me irritation. Most sunscreens I've tried have made my skin extremely itchy or rashy. I discovered that using a physical sunblock versus a chemical one is better for sensitive skin. The only qualm with that is that usually physical ones have zinc oxide that can appear super white on brown skin, which obviously I have brown skin, so you can see why that would be an issue. This one has clear zinc, so it doesn't leave as much as a white cast, and as you blend it in, it's a lot less white. This sunscreen does have a little bit of a tacky feel, which works really well for makeup. It helps it to really stick on. A little 2-in-1. I actually used to use the sunscreen by 𝐿2MD that also uses zinc oxide, but I think it mixed it with titanium dioxide as well, and that made my skin extremely itchy and rashy. What's funny is that that sunscreen was labeled for sensitive skin, so I was like, yeah, it's gonna work. And guess what, y'all? It did not work for me, and this is basically the story of my life. What works for your average person doesn't work for my skin, so I have to be very creative with my solutions of how I take care of my skin, the products that I use, and finding that sense of balance, because oddly enough, most of the brands that are marketed for sensitive skin don't think about brown skin people, which is really weird because we out here too. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. Kind of gotta trust the process. It's all gonna come together at the end. My eyelashes kind of stick straight forward and I want them to curl up. What I have to do is hit my eyelash curler with a little bit of heat. That way it can curl my lashes because they don't curl any other way. They just stay straight. I'm gonna heat this up on its second lowest setting for a couple of seconds and then curl my eyelashes. I did not warm it up enough for it to be super hot. It's just warm. And another trick for really straight eyelashes, look down into your mirror as you're curling your eyelashes. This is gonna help it curl a lot better. This is my lashes curled, and this is my lashes uncurled. I'm gonna go in the Physicians Formula mascara before my eyelashes start to droop. And while this is still wet, I'm gonna put these little fibers on to make my eyelashes look a lot thicker than they really are. And then seal it in with another layer of mascara. If I want to make my eyelashes look even thicker, I will add another layer. Tap off the excess fibers and then put it on. And you can layer this up as much as you want. That's what I like about this. Or as little as you want. Oh, look at that. I got a big glob of mascara on here. But you know what I'm gonna do? For aesthetic reasons, I'm gonna take this off. I don't know if you can see, but there's a huge difference between my eyelashes without any mascara and with mascara. I'm gonna go do the other eye. Now that my mascara is on, I'm going to take these eye masks off and moisturize. I'm going to take more of this little guy. This always makes my skin feel so incredible. I'm going to put this under my eye so that it's nice and hydrated. And put a little bit on my lid as well. My skin right here is just very happy. For anyone who has hyperpigmentation, it's best if you start with one of these. The color corrector I'm going to be using is Live Tinted and it's in the shade Rise. Put this on all the areas where I feel need to be evened out. So I have the most lovely scar that I got from a pimple thanks to my period. I'm going to add that here as well. Now that I'm officially looking crazy, I'm gonna blend it out. I like to spray my face with a little bit of aloe as I'm blending in each step. This really helps my skin to look hydrated and it helps with the blending. And then I'm gonna take this cute little sponge and just blend it out a little bit. You can even blend this out with your finger. I've done this whole look with just my hands. What's amazing about these little sticks in particular is that they blend out really beautifully and effortlessly. Get a really good concealer that matches really close to your skin tone. This one is also by Live Tinted, and if you can't tell by now, this is my favorite makeup brand ever. Everything I've tried has worked so well for my skin type. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey, but this does do medium to full coverage, which is really good. I don't know how she does it, but this is the perfect formula for my skin type. I'm gonna put this over the color corrected spots, and any other spots I'm gonna even out, blending it out with the same sponge. This blends out so beautifully. This is a really creamy formula as well. Even if you let it sit for a little while, it is not gonna dry out. I forgot, but I usually spray in between here as well. Whatever's left over on my forehead, put it in the center and then blend out the edges a little bit. I kind of like to leave my forehead to be free. Now that that's nice and blended out, next what I like to do is put a shade lighter right under my eyes. I want to be a little light-handed with this, and a little bit goes a long way because it's hella pigmented. This one is the Shape Tape Concealer by Tarte. The shade that I'm using to highlight is Tan Sand. Try to keep this really high on my cheekbone. I try not to draw this down any so you can get like a real lifted kind of look. And then I just like to lightly dab right on my brow bone. Instead of applying it directly because I feel like it's a little bit too harsh, I just put whatever's left over from blending, I put that underneath my brow bone. And that will help to highlight that area as well. But you can see that this area looks a lot brighter now. You don't need to be heavy-handed with this because this concealer is pretty full coverage. I'm gonna contour with Silk Naturals Milk Chocolate Cream Contour Stick. Feeling where my cheekbone is and where it starts to dip in, I'm gonna go right under and then I do a shape like that. I don't know how to explain what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do what I'm doing. Define the jawline and then do the same thing on the other side. Feel where my cheekbone is. It's right here, so I'm gonna go here. And as for my nose, I try to enhance its natural shape. I have the upturned nose. I like to put it across where I have the little dip where it swoops out, and then I kind of make a circle. I'm gonna spray yet again, blend everything out. I'm just gonna use the cleaner side of the sponge for this one. The good thing about using creamier products, they blend out really well and they're really forgiving. Whereas I feel like sometimes when I'm using a powder, sometimes they'll stick to the skin in a weird way and it's a little difficult to correct after you put it on. What's also cool about these sponges in particular is that you can wash these and reuse them about 20 times. You don't have to throw it away after the first use. Definitely reuse it as much as you possibly can, and then once you're done with it, just wash it one last time and you can recycle it. There's a lot in this pack. It lasts me a pretty long time. Before I put on my blush to set everything that I just did, I'm going to be going in with this loose mineral powder. This one is by Plain Jane Beauty. Take a little bit. Then I like to go in with a cream blush. The one that I love, it's also by Lift Tinted, and the shade True, neutral mauve-ish kind of color. On brown skin, I think it looks absolutely stunning. And when I'm going for like a natural look, this is the one that I like to use. I'm gonna take another clean corner of this same exact sponge and blend that out. And literally it blends out in a few seconds. Soft and pretty, something that adds like a little extra vibrancy to your makeup. I kind of like to make sure that I'm merging the blush with the contour. Nobody can tell me nothing when I have this on. Kind of addicted. I like to go ham with this. It's the most incredible highlighter, and I got this in the shade Dusk. I usually just put some on the back of my hand because a little bit of this stuff goes a very long way. Take a little bit and then dab it on. Kind of like to go in a C shape. Highlight here, my brow bone. Excuse me, who is that? I absolutely love this highlighter. This is the secret to getting a glass skin kind of highlight. If you're a beginner, this is the way to go. An eyebrow pencil, they're just a lot easier to use, especially one that has a spoolie. It's the Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Pencil. Use a brow color that's one shade lighter than you think you need. That way when it fills in, it's not too dramatic. When I switched to medium brown, it made my eyebrows look a lot more natural and softer. When you start your eyebrow, if you don't know where to start it, use your nose as like a guide, and this is where I should start my brow. In the center, I don't like it to look too obvious that I put it there, so I just kind of blend it out. That's another reason why it's really beneficial to get a shade lighter. It kind of helps your brows to be more subtle, so if you mess up, it's not as obvious. You could always wipe it out, but you're gonna ruin the rest of your makeup.
To create a My Lips but better kind of look, I use a rose brown lip pencil. This color is discontinued, but I did link an alternative just in case you guys are curious. It's not the same exact color, but it's close, and the brand works really well for sensitive skin types. I accidentally forgot to hit record when I applied my lipstick, but the one I put on was a deep nude color in the shade 90s by Silk Naturals. I blended it out with my fingers and blotted it to lessen the intensity of the color. Because my lipstick is matte, I added a lip gloss on top. The one I'm using is by the Lip Bar, and and it has a very sheer, shimmery finish with subtle gold flecks in it.
I'm gonna set this look with more aloe water. You don't need a fancy setting spray. This is more than enough. When your eyelashes are completely dry, you want to curl them one more time to give it a really curled look. You don't want to use heat when you do this. This is the final look. Everything that I used in this video is going to be linked in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe and share this with a loved one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
This hair growth oil is infused with a potent mix of herbs and seeds to stop excessive hair loss and grow thicker hair. We'll be using a gentle method to infuse ingredients into the oil and retain their healing properties. I'll be using a combination of 3 oils, the first one being Jamaican black castor oil. The Sunny Isle brand is the only one I trust when it comes to getting authentic castor oil made the traditional way, and its main purpose is strengthening and protecting against breakage. The second oil I'll be using is avocado oil due to its ability to penetrate and repair the hair shaft. It's one of the few oils